Ever feel like trying to get a business loan is like, well, wandering around in the dark?
Yeah, I can see that.
Especially for smaller businesses. It can be a real struggle to navigate the system here in India. But what if there was a way to shine some light on the whole thing?
Make it more transparent.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. There's this brand new proposal from the IBBI, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. They're like the referees for companies facing tough times.
Right, making sure everything's by the book.
And this proposal, it's causing quite a stir. It could really change the game, especially for MSMEs.
Micro, small, and medium enterprises, the backbone of the Indian economy, really. And this proposal gets at a really important issue for them. It's about clarity, or rather, the lack of it, when a company is going through insolvency proceedings.
Okay, so say you're an investor and you're looking at a company that's in a bit of a bind. Don't you want to know everything about them up front?
Of course, it's crucial to have the full picture.
Exactly. And right now, it's not always clear whether a company is an MSME or not, just from their financial statements.
It's like trying to buy a used car without knowing its history. You're taking a big risk.
A huge risk. And that's what the IBBI is trying to fix. Their proposal would make a company's MSME status crystal clear right from the get-go. Part of their official insolvency documentation, you see.
Their Information Memorandum, or IM for short, think of it as a company's financial report card during insolvency. And this proposal would make MSME status a required part of that report.
So no more hiding behind vague numbers. Companies would have to lay their cards on the table.
Transparency is key.
And I bet investors are breathing a sigh of relief right now. But let's be honest, could there be any downsides to this kind of radical transparency? The IBEI is all about being fair and efficient, right? But are there any potential snags they might have overlooked?
Well, that's what we need to consider.
It's like we're suddenly flipping on all the lights. Could make things a lot clearer. But are there shadows we weren't seeing before?
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, anytime you add a new requirement like this, especially for companies that are already in a tough spot.
You don't want to make things even tougher for them.
Exactly. They're already dealing with a ton of paperwork and stress as it is. Adding this whole new layer of MSME disclosure, it could be an extra burden.
Not to mention time-consuming. And in the business world especially, time really is money.
Absolutely. And any delays could hurt a company's chances of getting back on its feet. But here's the thing. It seems like the IBBI has really thought this through, They've actually anticipated this potential bottleneck.
Really? How so?
Remember we talked about those resolution professionals, the ones who oversee the whole insolvency process?
The ones making sure everything's running smoothly.
Exactly. Well, the IBBI's draft regulation, it actually gives them the power to help companies get their MSME registration if they need it.
Oh, interesting. So it's like built-in support.
Yeah, a helping hand during a really challenging time. So it's not just about more rules, it's about making sure the system works.
Finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Transparency, but also efficiency.
Exactly. And remember, this is all still just a proposal. The IBBI wants to hear from people, what they think, any concerns they might have.
They're open to feedback.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're really trying to get it right, make the system work for everyone involved, especially for those MSMEs, the engine of the Indian economy.
Which brings us to the really exciting part. This is where you come in, right? Our listeners.
Yeah. This is your chance to have a voice, share your perspective. You might have insights the IBBI hasn't even considered.
That's right. You can actually help shape how things change, potentially make a real difference for millions of businesses.
Yeah.
We've really been digging into the details of this proposal today, but I feel like it also brings up some interesting questions about what's next for finance in India. What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely. For MSMEs especially, it feels like this could be a turning point. Imagine a future where they don't have to jump through hoops to get funding, where everyone recognizes their potential right away just because that MSME status is clear from the start.
It's like suddenly unlocking all this potential. And not just for the companies themselves.
Right. It's bigger than that.
It could mean more investment, more innovation, more jobs.
Absolutely.
For the whole country. We might even see a wave of new financial products designed specifically for MSMEs. Maybe even with technology playing a bigger role.
Yeah. Tech could definitely be a game changer here. This could be the beginning of a whole new era of growth for India, a more inclusive one.
That's a really exciting thought. But as we wrap up today, here's the key takeaway for our listeners. You can actually be a part of making this happen. The IBBI genuinely wants to hear from you.
They do?
Your perspective is valuable. So head over to the IBBI website. You'll find the link in our show notes and tell them what you think. The deadline is September 12th.
Don't be shy. Even if you've never done anything like this before, this is your chance to contribute, to help build a better system for everyone.
It's about creating a more transparent, more supportive environment for India's amazing entrepreneurial spirit. Who knows? Maybe your ideas will spark the next big breakthrough, and we'll be here to talk about it when it happens. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this all unfolds, so be sure to join us again for more fascinating dives into the world of Indian finance.